Hello dear students, this is Rebecca Deed from RA Knowledge Spot. Okay students, before we are going to start chapter number 1 of class 10th Punjab textbook, there are some very important concepts that I really want to discuss with you and that are important also for you. Because you are going to start chapter number 1 and if you don't know some basic concept like what is an equation, what is the linear equation, what is a quadratic equation and what is a cubic equation and what is a bi-quadratic equation. Like these are some basic concepts. There are some other equations in this chapter, but initially you should know these concepts. And here like, we have to learn what we actually have to do, that is equation, linear equation, quadratic, cubic equation and biquadratic. Now dear students, you should know what is an equation. Equation is something, as the word represent or the word is saying by itself, that an expression or an algebraic expression in which you are having an equal sign, that is simply is called an equation. You have saw many times in your mathematics books, many times an equation. Now you can see what kind of equation is this, like 3x plus 3 is equal to 5. In short, all these quadratic, cubic, biquadratic and linear, they all are equation. Why they are called equation? Because there is an equal sign between them. Not in front or in starting of the question, but when you have an equal sign in an expression in between somewhere, that is called an equation. Then now, in order we are going to do first what is a linear equation. Linear equation means, dear students, the equation in which the power of the variable is 1. The power of the variable, or you can say instead of power, the exponent of the variable is 1. Now you can say this is 4x plus 3 is equal to 5, although this is an equation, but the special name of that equation is linear equation. Okay, now the power of this x is, if you know that when there is no sign, like no power, then that invisible number is 1. Means this is called simple linear equation. Now, this is called the standard or the general form. You can say the standard form of linear equation. In your exam, maybe you can be asked what is a linear equation and what is the standard form of the linear equation. But this is ax plus b is equal to 0, where a could not be 0, because if a is 0, it means when you multiply this x with 0, you will get 0 and the left number will be b. It means there is no more a linear equation you will have. Okay. Now, this is something very important, like a should not be 0. Now, in this equation, what will not be 0? 4 will not be 0. Okay. Moving towards the next. Now, this is actually called the standard form of the linear equation. Now, cubic equation. As you know, what is a cube, like the power 3? Okay, here the equation in which the degree, or now what is the degree actually? Dear students, you know the one is power, exponent, and there is a third name, that is degree. Actually the highest power is called degree. The highest power is called the degree. Now the SE equation, in the equation in which the degree is 3, that is 4x cubed plus 2x squared plus 10 is equal to 0. You can see here is the own power, like this is the power 2 and this is the power 3. Now what is the degree? Degree is not 2, but degree is actually 3. The highest power is called degree. Now this is a biquadratic equation. Now what is a biquadratic equation, dear students? Actually quadratic means power 2 and bi means many times you have heard also like bi means 2 in maths, in computers, like bi means 2, and quadratic 2 plus 2, that is 4. You can just keep in your mind in that in this technique. Actually with this technique you can keep this thing in your mind. The equation in which the degree is 4, that is called a biquadratic equation. See, x4 minus x squared minus 2 is equal to 0. Right now the highest power or the highest, you can see the exponent is 4. This means that this is called the biquadratic equation. Now the chapter actually that we have to do is all about quadratic equations. Now we are going to discuss the definition in detail. In algebra, a quadratic equation is one in which the degree is 2 is called quadratic equation. Now this is the equation in which you have to discuss actually what is the quadratic equation. Like when the power, or when you can say the degree, the highest power is 2, is called quadratic equation. And what is the standard form of quadratic equation? In your exam, normally you could ask like what is the standard form of the quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. Why? Because see students, if we are saying that a is 0, when you multiply x square with 0, what will happen? This whole term will be 0, means it will not it will be vanishing from here. The left term will be bx plus c. Do you know better that bx plus c is not a quadratic but a linear equation? But you see the heading, what is it? This is the quadratic equation. It means it will no more be the quadratic equation if this term will be 0, or the number that is written with x square will be 0. Then now what is this ABC? This ABC normally are called literals, or here the number is called also constant, because there will be minus 10, 5, 6, 100, whatever the number that will be a constant, treat as a constant, and ABC are called literals. And x is the variable. This could also be like happen with the y variable. We can replace, or in the question, if there's y, no more worries, because we can also replace x with y. Now this is also called second degree equation. In your exam, maybe the examiner will ask you what is the second degree equation, or define second degree equation. Don't be confused, and don't be keep doing mess up with these two words. You can use them alternatively, no problem with this second degree equation. Now you can see the example. This is 12x squared plus 2x minus 10. That is the example of quadratic equation. Now this is 5x squared minus 10x plus 5 is equal to 0. This is also another example of quadratic equation. Here those numbers that is written with x squared, they are a, just like this. Comparison, do the comparison. The number that is written with x is called b. Right now the b is minus 10, and c, that the alone number, that is the constant number, is c. Now here in this chapter, usually you will ask what is a pure quadratic equation. Now the pure quadratic equation is like you are maybe surprised, what is this pure? This pure mean purely you have to you should know what is the quadratic equation. Now you can see why this is quadratic equation. This is the quadratic equation just because of this square, this power actually. Because of this you can call it a pure quadratic equation, or quadratic actually. Now pure means this is like ax square plus c is equal to 0. You can see there is one term that is missed, and that is the middle term. When there is no bx, like there is no this term, then this is called a purely quadratic equation, means we can skip this term. Quadratic equation in which coefficients of x, that is like b is 0, is called pure quadratic equation. And this is the example, like 2x square minus 5 is equal to 0. You can see there is no term, that this middle term actually, like 2x 5x something, it is not present in this equation, or in this example. Okay dear students, these are some basic and fundamental concepts that are related to the equations, or somehow also of course algebra. Okay, now I will see you in the next video, when I'm going to make the video that is for 1.1. Take care till then. Bye bye.